Hi, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to see the continuation of the machine learning tutorial. Today we will discuss the algorithms, that is top 5 most used machine learning algorithms in Python. We are going to see one by one. So the mode of presentation is overall presentation. Here at last you get idea about the linear regression, decision tree, logistic regression, support vector machine, at last NaiveBayes. So before going that, you have idea about this one. Machine learning. So you know about machine learning. Today we can't imagine the world without the support of machine learning algorithms. So algorithm, why we need, because algorithm generally provide a solution for the given statement. What are the statement or what are things you want to solve with the help of real life? You can solve the any complex problem. You can solve with the help of algorithm. The machine learning algorithm always depends on the things like the problem statement, the size and nature of the data, and also complexity of the algorithm. So if you want to use, go for the right machine learning solution, we have to consider all the things here. And machine learning, now we come to the point here. Here, machine learning is the concept of programming the machine in such a way that it learns from experiences and different examples without being programmed explicitly. Moreover, it's one of the application of AI that allows machine to learn on their own. So you know already test and train the data, and also these algorithms are combination of mathematics and logic. Moreover, that adjust themselves to perform more progressively which the input data varies. So remember, here we are going to apply some of the mathematical formula to understand and implement, at last bring out the results. Then so with the figure out the results, we can get more idea. And the process of creating machine learning algorithm is divided into two parts. One is called training, another called testing phase. So whatever the algorithm you do, what are going to follow and implement here with the help of Python, these are based on the training and testing only. And some of the list of some common machine learning algorithms there. There is a linear regression, logistic, principal component analysis, then k-means clustering, decision tree, random forest, support vector machine, a priori, native Bayes classifier, k nearest neighbors, and ordinary least squares regression. Out of this 11, we are going to discuss only 5 because these are very mandatory and important today. First one, go for linear regression. So linear regression is one of the most popular supervised machine learning algorithm. Moreover, it's a process used for estimating the relationship between among variables. Moreover, remember, so it's putting the baseline between the, what is the decimal point here? So here linear program. So here one of the variables is dependent on one or more independent. Let's say example, the weight and height of a people. So when you consider weight and height of the variable, this also people, it may vary. We can take one is variable one is weight and variable is height is the two. After that, we can estimate the relationship between the variables here. The upcoming session definitely explain with the example and demonstration also possible. And here we are going to follow the equation also. That is, we are going to set the baseline. So the best fit line is represented by a linear equation that is called y is equal to a multiplies x plus b, commonly called as the regression line. So when you want implement solve any problem with a linear regression algorithm, you can follow. Then we have to see the details here. Y for dependent variable and a for slope and x for independent variable, and b is represented the intercept here. Moreover, is the line regression line is what is a line that fits best in the equation to supply a relationship between the dependent and the independent variables. So when runs on a single variable or future, we will call it simple linear, and when it runs on different variables, suppose different variable apply means what, we will call it as a multiple linear regression. So I have that you have idea about the linear regression. You go for decision trees. Decision tree is the one. Decision tree means what? Is one of the tree or graph that uses a branching method to illustrate every possible outcome of a decision. So here you can say like, and also we can it's all built by repeatedly asking question to the partition data. The aim of algorithms what, to increase the predictiveness at each level of partitioning, so that the model is always updated with the information about the data set. Moreover, is also one of the supervised machine learning algorithm. Remember, and also use it mainly used for classification rather than the regression. So in this classification, what, and also you can say example. Suppose I am raising question to the machine. Is it sunny? Yes means you can go for sim. No means you can go for it's raining. Yes means you go for sim. This is one answer. The example you can continue here. If I say is it sunny, no means I can ask another question, that is it raining? Then you can get yes means stay indoors, or else if no raining, you can go outside. You can say walk outside, like that. So we can create n number of applications when you come for the decision tree here. Day-to-day life, you can consider anything. The next one, the logical regression. So logical regression here is one of the classification algorithm used to predict discrete or categorical values. Categories. So remember, so here categorical values. So is a classification algorithm used to predict a discrete categorical values, and can say it's also called sigmoid function. The function takes in a real valued member and maps into a value that falls between 0 and 1 here. Moreover, this algorithm is used in finding spam emails, website or ad click predictions, and customer churn. So before defining the example, you can now let's say example of, you can say the example, you can say who will default on their credit card payment. So if you take consider about the example, who will default on their credit card payment, we can go and consider the credit card users and then make credit card transactions and find out at last, unless you can create the plot of monthly credit card balance and so on, annual income. After that, you can create it and apply the values here. The sigmoid function is f of x equal to L by, here the function is defined as f of x equal to L by 1 plus e mod of minus x, then domain of real numbers, and L is curves max value here. So these are the important information about the logic regression. So logic regression is the one used to predict discrete or categorical values. Let's say example, I can say default on the credit card payment. You can say best example. Let's go for another algorithm. Support vector machine. Support vector machine is the one of the, as you know, is one of the important machine learning algorithm in Python, which is used for classification, but can also used for regression task also. Moreover, here we can plot each data item in a point in n-dimensional space. Remember, after some time I'll give the example. For example, let's assume that if you have only had two features like height and hair length of an individual. Remember, so height and with hair length of individual, we would first plot these two variables in two-dimensional space where each point has two coordinates. These are considered support vectors, and also this remember, for example, one more example given here. If your length and width are used for classifying differences, their observations are plotted in a 2D space, and a line serves the purpose of a decision boundary here. So many examples you can say here. These are important points about the support vector machine. And we go for the next one, that is NaiveBayes. So NaiveBayes, you have an idea about this one. NaiveBayes means, we can say best example. Before knowing the example, NaiveBayes was one of the technique based on the conditional probability and is particularly suited when the complexity of the input is high. Remember, so this is of the conditional probability completely based on the conditional probability and is particularly suited when the complexity of the input is high. Or also you can use it for this also for classification task, and this is one of the reason it is also called as a NaiveBayes classifier. And also the algorithm works on the Bayes theorem, which is like a P of A by B is equal to P of A int dot P of B by A by B of B. Then in this one, P of A stands for probability of even A, and P of B stands for probability of even B, and P of A by B is for probability of even A given by even B has already occurred. Similarly, P of B by A, probability of even B given even has already occurred here, and the NaiveBayes classifier calculates the probability of a class in given set of features like P of y1, x1, x2, and the formula given here P of y1 connects with the x1, x2, and so on is equal to P of x1, x2, xn, and so on int P of y by P of x1, x2, and so on. So here the algorithm may be written like with the help of independent like P of x1, x2, x1 by y, this is called P of x1 by y1 dot P of x2y by y, and so on and so on. So like this is a So here we can say best example, we can say whenever receive the email, Gmail, example, you can say real time. Suppose you are in the Gmail, you can go and when you apply this native base classifier, you can go and find after applying a Bayes theorem, you can analyze, predict if a mail is spam or not. So if your mail is spam, it will be in the spam folder. If not a spam mail, it should be in your inbox here. So like that, you can say real time example for understanding about the native base. So native base means what is one of the classified technique is also based on the conditional probability and is particularly suited when the complexity of the input is high. So I'll also check whether the mail Gmail is in old spam record or not, and so on. I hope that you understand about these algorithms. Remaining will see in the continuous video sessions. And if you have any queries or suggestions, please kindly communicate with the following social media. And also, if you like the video, please subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you.